Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Okay, guys, Chris is coming up with some awesome content, really good stuff. CJ is another amateur astronomer, and he's been focusing on the red dwarf star and its incoming passage. But I mean, as time has been progressing, this system, the celestial bodies are getting closer to us, and as a result, he's he can't ignore them. They're becoming more prevalent in the skies, and he's using his equipment in order to capture them. Anyway, I'll just let Chris basically explain, and then we'll just go through it together, inshallah.
Alright, so September 24th, 2016, we're looking at work from CJ on CosmicArtifactResearch.com. It's significant, and we're going to start right now. Nemesis star Hercolubus, the bearded comet. I think they all might be here now at the same time, and I agree.
Okay, this is a amateur astronomer now, who basically seems to feel the same way as we do, to be honest, that it's a whole system, and the system's got satellites, i.e. moons, planets, and stars, 2 stars at least, which is part of this system.
This is a high resolution first look at what I have been observing in the night sky for several years now. It has caught my attention and imagination in such a way that I have spent the last month photographing, analyzing, and recording it. However, this story is much deeper, and I have other material that leads up to this conclusion, indicating that there are at least 3 new major celestial and identifiable objects in our night sky. Is this why NASA decided to add a 13th zodiac, with the appearance of a bearded comet with a streaking tail represented as a serpent?
Now that's interesting. Again, there's a lot of mention about this serpent, a bearded comet. Then you'll see the video that I uploaded a while ago, which had the dragon in the foreground on Google's images. And then you'll notice the correlation between that and the Ouroboros shown on the surface of Jupiter by Juno satellite, which was a blatant photoshopped image where you saw the snake eating its tail. So I mean, you see the occultic references, and now how those occultic references are then basically bleeding out into this whole 13th zodiac. And remember, the 13th number is very important to the occult. And not only are there 12 months in the year, and this is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it's in the kalam of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but also you've got the 12 tribes of Israel, Bani Israel, and you'll find that Shaitan will basically do the opposite. So for him, it's like the 13 tribes. You see that in the elitists, the satanic elitists, there'll be the 13 houses of whatever, and they're basically at the top of this structure, this pyramidal scheme and structure model, and they're at the top of it, the 13 families. I'm not quite sure exactly, specifically who these 13 families are, but they tend to lean towards the number 13 rather than obviously the numerology used by within the Sunnah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Shaitan obviously tries to do things different. So I mean, there's always this connection. You see 13 as a unlucky number, even like when you go up lifts in many countries. In fact, Dubai, astaghfirullah, although we don't believe in that sort of suspicion, yet you'll find even Dubai basically mirror that suspicion, where there is no 13th floor. And Friday the 13th, you see that it's everywhere. Basically, they use that anyway. And now our night sky has changed. So according to them, there's a 13th zodiac. So you've got the 12 zodiacal signs, i.e., star signs. Again, we don't lay too much credence to that. But these star signs, at least in terms of constellation, they're in our sky. But now there's a 13th one. Why? is there a 13th one? Because our poles are basically shifted. So what that means is the Earth is tilted, and if the Earth is tilted, which is why the Sun is basically setting around about 30 degrees to the north at the moment, because of that tilt, which is a significant tilt. But what that means is we're seeing a different part of the sky now. And when I say the sky, I mean space, right? So the constellations that we are seeing now in our line of view is different, would be substantially different if you're going to have a 30-degree basically change in your angle, right? And hence the 13th zodiacal sign that they're basically just, it's all occulted, to be honest.
Take note of the date, November 29th to December 17th. Bearded hairy comet, anyone? Good job, bro. Wow. Ophiuchus Ophiuchus. Seriously. So that's the disco star. Or at least one of them. That thing's a fiery, freaking hot-ass star. It is. Come on, man. That's a brown, I think that's a brown dwarf right there. Look, something significant happened to me. That's why everything has to change. I knew it would happen. I've been waiting. Pretty timely. Interesting how things happen. You know, we're coming to a screeching halt here at the end of time, and
Okay, Chris is putting his own spin on this. I mean, he obviously comes from a Mormon school of thought. He's a Christian, so I mean, we're gonna just stop at that. He's a lovely guy, but I guess he's going to share his thoughts on that subject matter and the experiences he's having personally whilst all of this is happening. But anyway, you can see what this guy's picking up now. The footage is going to get interesting, I'm sure it is. Let's get a little more personal, shall we? Okay. Let's see what he's showing us. Okay, now that's interesting. Now that shouldn't be visible in our night sky. Whoa, subhanallah. Okay, do you see what I see? Do you see what I see? Distinctly red celestial body and a blue one. Okay, and a bright star. Remember in my dream I said they were together? What are the chances? Right? And this is what I saw in our sky. Okay. Okay, I'm going to unmute this because maybe Chris has stopped talking. There's music anyway.
Things are here, you guys. I mean, it looks like there's craft, space
okay, that's interesting. That's a rock. Okay, we saw that in the image that was leaked by NASA, by the way. This thing, right? Remember, I was pointing it out yesterday in the video upload, and I said this looks like a rock, not a planet, but we'll just call it a planet for now. And it was quite substantial in size, which it is. You can see how big it is in relation to this, which is potentially the red dwarf star. So if that's a star and that's a rock, you know, you can just scale it and imagine how big that rock is.
Everywhere. Several objects. What? Good point about Ophiuchus Ophiuchus.
Subhanallah.
NASA, man. Never a
Okay,
straight.
these are amateur astronomers now picking it up in our sky. So I mean, they're only going to see what is in our line of vision, and they're picking up this. You know, it's in our solar system. So we're seeing these planets and these stars as much as we are seeing the rest of the planets within our solar system, which is Jupiter, which is Mars. Unless this guy was on another planet and on the surface of another planet, and then pointing his equipment in the direction of a sky that we can't see otherwise on the face of our planet Earth, you've got to question where this footage came from, right? Well, evidently, I mean, I guess, there's no other explanation but that it was taken from here, from Earth, and it's a amateur astronomer taking it, and he's seen this in our night sky.
The answer. They are a bunch of pukes. Just freaking tell us what's up, man. We already know. Why don't
Look at that, subhanallah.
you tell us? Yeah, but see, the thing is, we'll never get a straight answer from them. So, whatever they do tell us will be disinformation or BS too.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Chris is not too impressed with NASA and all the government authorities and bodies who obviously would know about this. If it's there, they know about it, and they're not telling the Ummah. Okay, there's a reason. We need to question why they're not telling us, and I guess you can come up with your own answers. I'm not going to spoon feed those answers to anybody. I've got my own understanding of it, and that's my own personal journey and legacy, and I'll keep that to myself. I'll let the ulama kind of maybe ponder over that and explain why that's the case. Well, inshallah, if the ulama at some point basically start taking this matter a little bit more serious, inshallah.
What a joke. There you go. Slam that dope. Like your mama was a bow. Yeah. Right, Bo? Hey, buddy. Hi. She's so friggin' cute, man.
He's got a bunny rabbit. And he's talking to his bunny rabbit from Norway. It's a dwarf bunny rabbit. MashaAllah. Apparently she's got leases, right? Lices. And he's been treating her through the vets and stuff.
Spend time with my bunny at the end of time.
MashaAllah.
Doing a good job there, CJ.
So
look, nobody else has this significant of data.
No.
They just don't.
It's new data. I've come across anything like that.
Like, I really am thinking deeply on who else has given me stuff that's just off the chain.
Me.
Yeah, this is a problem, guys. This is a huge freaking problem. I fear that NASA will never make an announcement. Folks, people are going to survive this thing.
Inshallah.
What is Earth going to be like after the fact? I think they know it's going to hit us twice. It comes in and then it leaves. And that they're planning
That seems to be the star. The proton star, the one, look, it even had a blue haze to it. Let's go back again, subhanallah. There you go. It's okay, this and the red and the blue planet. That's what I saw in my dream. Just over our skies.
They're planning accordingly to that. Wasn't it one of these goofy politicians that said never let a good emergency
Okay, what's going on here? I'm not getting that.
Or disaster go to waste?
Whoa! Somebody's coming out of here. We gotta find a judge or something. Hey, wait a minute. Hey!
Someone's fast. the humor aside, this is a very, very sad situation, to be honest. The evidence is just basically stacking up. It's not stopping. I mean, armed with the evidence we have got so far, any court of law would basically conclude that there is enough evidence to suggest that a binary system has entered our atmosphere, which is also causing the climate changes as well as the earthquakes and the eruptions, which has also shifted our poles from the north and the south, which are also affecting the vortices in both hemispheres, and which potentially is something that we should be considerably concerned about, which also explains maybe possibly today's magnetic field interruption, and a very substantial one at that. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best, but again, look, the footage from astronomers is coming in, so I mean, really, it can't be a conspiracy, can it? And how many individuals, and you've seen the sort of people who are basically involved in this, they're intelligent people. They're not sensationalists. It's not the usual, it doesn't follow the usual signature of conspiracy theories where these are guys who basically presenting their findings very intelligently. They're articulating them, and they're putting them forward with evidence, with data, right? And then there's stuff that we can verify ourselves with the observations that we're making, right? None of what they're putting forward isn't something that can't be basically verified. We can do that just as well ourselves. Genuinely, ulama they have to pay attention to this, sit down, explore, go through all the information that's been made available. It's in the PDF, and then move backwards through the content in the channel. At the same time as they do that, study the claims and research it, and then go off on whatever tangent that takes you. I'm not going to direct the ulama because it's not my business to do that, but whatever it takes them, it's from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at the end of the day. So if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala takes them in whichever direction, that's just the way it's meant to be. So anyway, Jazakallahu khairan wa asma jaza for your time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.